Hi soulmates, you're all welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial we are going to be making this front twist or crisscross Bubu blouse. If you're interested in learning this, do stay tuned as we begin. I'll be working with 3 yards of this Duchess fabric for this style, but first of all I'm going to be drafting on a pattern paper. This will enable us manage our fabric better, but if you're going to be working with a longer length, I'll advise you to get 4 yards for it. The length I used in this tutorial is 30 inches. I'm going to begin by marking the start line. At the top of my pattern paper, I will come down by 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to mark it right there. So I'm drafting out the back pattern first. After I'm done drafting the back pattern, I'll place it on my fabric to cut out for the front. Okay, so that's how I'm going to be going about this. So I'll roll a straight line connecting the points that I just made. I'll place my tape at the start line and mark out the full length of my Bubu blouse. Okay, so I'm working with 30 inches, but I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches for hemming the blouse. Okay, so I have 32 inches in all. So now I'll go over to mark out my shoulder measurement. To do that, you can just place your tape at the midpoint of your shoulder and mark it, measure it to the point you want it to stop around your sleeve. Okay, for this one, I want it to stop at 22 inches. So you can either do that or you can also take normal shoulder measurement. Mine is 8 inches. Now, after marking out your shoulder measurement, just go ahead and take your sleeve length from your shoulder point to where you want your sleeve to stop. Okay, so mine is going to stop around 14 inches. Okay, and I'm going to be adding 2 inches for hemming it. So when you add it all, 14 plus 8 is still going to give me the same 22 inches. I'll go on and take my neck width of 3 inches. I'm going to mark it right there. And the neck depth that I'll be working with is going to be 1.5 inches. Remember, we are drafting the back pattern first. Okay, so I'll go on and mark 1.5 inches for my neck depth for the back. I'll use my ruler to connect this point. Now I'll move over to the sleeve where my sleeve stopped. Okay, so at that point I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. This is to create the shoulder slope. I'll mark it right there and I'm going to rule a line connecting to the neck width. So like this, I'm going to connect it all the way to the neck width. Now at that point where I came down by 1.5, I'll go ahead and take my sleeve opening. I'll be marking 11 inches for my sleeve opening. I'll mark it at that point, 11 inches. Then I'll go on and take my body measurement. I'm going to be making use of the biggest part of my body. Okay, for me is my hip measurement, which is 41 inches. Yours could be your bust, so just make use of the biggest part of your body. Remember, we are working on a Bubu blouse. Okay, so 41 inches, divide that by 4. I marked what I have there. So I went ahead to add extra 5 inches, but I later reduced it to 4 inches. I'll go on and replace same measurement on the rest part of the body all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to mark it here. I'll mark it at the hem as well. I'll go on and connect the line from the 11 inches sleeve opening I came down by. I'll connect it to the body measurement and rule a straight line connecting all my dots all the way down. I'll go on and create a bit of a curve around that armhole right there, just to eliminate the sharp edge that we have. Then I'll go over to my shoulder and add my sewing allowance of 1/2 inch all the way down. And the next thing is to cut it. So guys, if you're here to subscribe to my channel, please do hit on the red button to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up so our videos can get to a wider audience. If you have a question, do drop it in the comment section. So after cutting, I went ahead to place it on our fabric. This fabric is on fold. Alright, so we are going to be using this back pattern to cut out the front. Now I placed this fabric on fold. You can see how I placed it, and there's excess fabric at the neckline area. You can see what I have there. So I went ahead to cut the sleeve area, which is the same thing with the front. So the front and the back sleeve area to the shoulder area is the same thing. So where we are going to be having difference is the front area. Okay, so now from the hem, I went up by 17 inches. Remember, we have 2 inches hemming allowance, so it's actually supposed to be 15 inches. The length of Bubu is 30 inches. I divided that by 2 to get my 15 inches, and plus the 2 inches hemming allowance, which made it 17 inches. If you're working with Bubu length of 40 inches, you can use 20 inches for yours. So I'll go on and rule a straight line connecting the points that I made. After this, I'll go on to create my front neckline. To do that, I went ahead to fold the back neckline in a bit. Then I placed my tape at the shoulder measurement, and I'm going to come down by 7 inches. So I came down by 7 inches. I'll connect the line. So at that point, I'm going to be creating like a V shape. Okay, so I'm going to connect the line like that. Then from that 7 inches point, I'll try to create a curve that I will connect into that 17 inches line, that horizontal line right there. Yes, so I'm going to create a curve that is going to align with it, just like this. I'll be measuring the length of the excess fabric, which is what we are going to be using for the front twist. You can use from 25 to around 30 inches, but I use 27 inches. I don't want mine to be too long. I'm also going to be using it to create my collar. Okay, so I went ahead to mark the 27 inches down to the hem line of my Bubu. After marking, this is what I have. Okay guys, so this is it. This is what it's looking like. The next thing is for me to cut out the back pattern. I went ahead to place my fabric on fold, and I place the pattern paper on it. Also, don't forget to leave ½ inch for joining, because after cutting out the front, the fabric is not enough for the back to just be on fold, so I had to merge 2 fabrics together. Okay, so and I left ½ inch for sewing allowance at the center back right there. Don't forget to do that so you don't get short of fabric. After cutting, this is what I have. Okay, I'll be joining the center back together. I'm going to place it right facing each other, and using the ½ inch sewing allowance that I left, I'm going to be sewing it. After sewing it, this is what I have. You can see. So the next thing is to attach the front to the back at the shoulder. So I'm going to be placing it right face facing each other, right face to right face, and at the shoulder like this, I'll use ½ inch to sew it all the way down. I'll do same thing for the other side as well. I'm going to place it right face facing each other. This is the front pattern I'm attaching to the back like this, and I'll go on and sew it. After sewing at the shoulder, I'm going to be hemming the sleeve as well using my 2 inches hemming allowance. This is what it's looking like after joining it at the shoulder and hemming at the sleeve. So you can see what we have. The next thing is to join the sides together. So I'm going to turn it to the wrong face. I'll have them the right face facing each other, and using the sewing allowance that I added, which is 1 inch, I'll go over to my sewing machine to sew it from the sleeve point all the way to the hem. Now after doing this, I went ahead to fold my hem. but I'll advise you to fold your hem after making your twist and attaching the collar to the neckline, because I noticed that after I did attach mine, the stitches were a bit visible. Now you're going to go on and pick the excess fabric, the long fabric, and we'll be attaching them at the edge. Okay, you're going to attach it right facing each other like this. I'll go over to my sewing machine. Using 1/2 inch, I'll sew it all the way down. Now I'm done sewing, and this is what I have. Okay, so the next thing, you're going to fold it into 2. Just watch carefully how I'm going about this at this point. After folding into 2, you can see the position the rough edges is facing. Just turn it like this. That's how to create the twist. After turning it like that, just once, the way I turned it, you can go back to rewatch it. Then you bring it to the neckline like this. Make sure you notch the midpoint of the back part of your neckline. Okay, so I'm going to use my pin to secure it like this, and I'll go on and hold the 3 pieces together. Okay, so using 1/2 inch, I'll go over to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew it all the way down like this. Okay, I'm going to stop at the point where I created my twist. Okay, so while sewing, you notice that when you get to that point, you can continue with your sewing. So what you need to do is just to make your back stitch at that point. Then you go over to the other side of the neckline and do the same thing. Now I'm going to begin my sewing from that midpoint. Make sure all your fabrics are well aligned together, and then you sew it all the way down. Okay, so this is how I'm going to go about this, guys. If you watched this video to this point, do not forget to subscribe, leave us a thumbs up, drop your comments, okay, in the comment section, and don't forget to share the video links as well. Okay, so after I was done, this is what we have. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so you are notified whenever I post a new video. See you all in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.